You did a lot of business as an originator with financial advisors and divorce attorneys, or what you refer to as alternative sources of referral business. And this is a can of worms that I'm about to open. And I'm comfortable with you going as deep into this can of worms as you'd like to, because I think there's a lot for people to learn here. What is the benefit of working with alternative sources of referral business, such as CPAs, CFPs, and divorce attorneys? And how does that strategy differ? And what are some suggestions that you would make as to how to cultivate those relationships?
Non-Realtor referral partners is what I'll call it. And that's no knock on realtors. They're a valuable partner. It wasn't my my strategy, because I believe that to be a red ocean, right? Where there's just a million loan officers and they're all going after the same people. So I've always felt strongly about being where other loan originators are not and making myself very valuable in those spaces. I found that financial advisors are by far the best source of business out there and the most fun to work with, way more fun. It's not just about, you need to be, I would say you need to be. I was deliberate about my business. I didn't wait for the phone to ring and just do whatever deal came. I went seeking the type of referral partners and the type of transactions that I wanted. I was deliberate about it. And I did that through teaching and targeting and meeting and all of those types of things. And so, and I think that deliberation, by the way, also applies to the people that you work with, your clients that you choose to work with, the people on your team, the company you're at, all of these things are very deliberate in the approach. And so for me, I found that the other referral partners that were not realtors needed me more than the realtors did. And I could help them more than I could help potentially the agents. And that's because, you need to be looking at the liability side of the balance sheet to be an effective financial planner. So many of them say on their website, take a comprehensive approach. We have a holistic process, blah, blah, blah. But if you ask, what do you do about the mortgage and the liabilities? How do you manage that? No answer. If you ask, how do you manage the home equity, which is frequently the largest asset somebody has? No answer, right? So for me, I felt like I could really help those people a lot and help them develop new sources of business, new cash flows to invest, and which is what they want. Divorce lawyers are just that. They know the law. Financial advisors are at least, money people. Divorce lawyers, they don't know mortgage at all. And you probably figured this out already, but most divorces involve a marital home. Almost all, not all, but a lot, maybe they don't own, but home ownership rate's pretty high in this country. Marriages usually don't get divorced. Usually people buy a house before they get divorced. Not always, but frequently. And so they don't know what to do. And if you can insert yourself into the relationship and the transaction and say, look, when Jim and Jane are getting divorced and you have a question, just call me. Don't tell them to go to their banker and go find a mortgage person and come back for another appointment. Just call me right there. Call me from the meeting. Call me right afterwards. Whatever it is, you want me to be available, I'll be available. So it's massive value. And they write these, as you've probably seen, Tim, they write these hundreds of pages agreements, property separation agreements, divorce agreements, without knowing that nobody can refinance or get another place until the alimony and child support is seasoned 6 months, right? And there's got to be a documentation, and nobody realizes it's got to continue for this many years, and how to do a refinance where the money going to buy out the equity is not considered cash out, right? Like these are just little easy things that are massively valuable to this community. And the minute you demonstrate to them your competence in this area, they will then become very confident in referring these people to you. So I don't believe just that I had, great numbers like a lot of other originators. I believe I had a healthier business and a much more fulfilling and happy way of doing mortgages because of the types of referral partners I was working with and the manner in which they were referring people to me.